Hi, Bellum. My serious short stream legs. I'm actually having a short stream today, alright? I'm ending at 10. Now, the reason I'm ending at 10 is because today is the last day of Prime Day and I need to go shopping. So, I need to do that, and I also have some other thing I have to get to afterwards. I need someone to stop me at 10 so I can go over. I know yesterday's stream was like an hour and a half long, and I said it was a short stream, but for real this time, alright? For real. Okay. Where's my webcam? What happened to that thing? So what I'm doing today is I am just going to fix webcam folder. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix some of my CAD designs for the for Blinky Learner and for whatchamacallit, the macro board. Hey Ganarsa, how's it going? Hello. Hi there. Okay. Goals for today: fix Blinky Learner, fix the pocket breadboard, and fix macro board. Playing Captain. I don't know what that is, but have fun. I need to replace it with my logo. The Hyperloop logo is great and all. I need to make a version that's just my logo though, so I can use both. This is kind of like my platform for the battery and everything. It's a pretty good design. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a copy. Hey, Bad Cop! Hello! I'm trying to resist the impulse of buying a Razor Blade Stealth for Prime Day. It's trade weed for sheep. Ah, I see, one of those games. I bought a Stream Deck for Prime Day. Very nice. That's awesome. Alright, so this is basically just me making a bunch of copies and putting it in this Blinky Learner case. I'm just going to rename this lock case. You have no idea what to do with it. Come play Tabletop Simulator with me. Alright. Okay, so in this case, I already have a DXF for the logo, so I really don't need to worry about it that much. This logo I just like overworked myself on. This one was like custom traced and everything. The back. I'm gonna go find the actual sketch that had this. Where is it? We did a short stream today. Short stream. Okay. Where is the Hyperloop logo? Yeah, which sketch is that? Oh, it's this one. Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna remove that. I'm gonna keep that sketch on there just because I think it's fun. And then in here I'm gonna insert the DXF of the Ohm logo. Just so that I can actually print this for Kandarsa. Kandarsa and Bellum are gonna receive one of the boxes with the old sticker, the Hyperloop sticker. I hope that's fine with you, because I don't have a new sticker yet for Blinky Learner. I gotta rebrand soon. Hopefully that's all right though. If you don't mind. Alright, be right back. I'm gonna go watch a Razor Blade Stealth review. Alright, have fun, Vellum. Documents, DXF files, ohm.dxf. Yeah, there is my ohm. Actually, that looks like a pretty good placement for things. Surprisingly. Maybe moving downwards a little would make it better. And I'm just gonna eyeball it for this placement. It's about center. Okay. And then finish sketch. Extrude it. I think it's extruded around 0.2 inwards. Look at this one. I think this was also a 2mm extrusion inwards. So for when I do the Blinky Learner case for Hyperlite, I'll use this case, and then I'll print this case for Cadarsa and Friends. Okay, good. First one's done. Look, short stream, I promise. Alright, next one I gotta update my pocket breadboard. So I want to get rid of the bottom extrusion. I want this to be like, I want you to be able to actually tape it to the breadboard if you want to. In that case, because I normally did this to save space, but I think it's a not that great of an idea. So let me go ahead and remove it. I think it's the last 3 operations. And I think I'm going to start selling these pocket breadboards with the BB440s and the BB830s. Those are the higher quality ones that are recommended by Ben Eater, actually. They're more expensive, but I think they're going to be good in the long run. I have a lot of the cheap breadboards right now, but I'm going to provide them to the school for educational purposes. And so, because you know, in case a breadboard breaks, they have extras and stuff. And it isn't that cost heavy as of right now. Okay. And yeah, I'll just put a bunch of these for the workshop that I'll be hosting in a few months as well. Because I think these terminal blocks are actually pretty nice. Okay. Well, that's fixed. Already done with that. I made a bigger version of this called the budget board. That's actually the one I have for when I show inside when I do my labs. This one actually works pretty well. I do need to replace the breadboards with the bigger ones though. Okay, video has talked me out of it for now. Cool. I need to make one with just one breadboard though, because this is for 3. In case you want to make like a full-scale computer, this is like one of the breadboards you would use. If you want to get into like serious breadboarding, using IC chips and stuff. So maybe if I have time today, I'll make the one that is just for one of the boards and not 3. I'll just take whatever this is, divide by 3, and that'll be my width, pretty much. And the rest is pretty much the same. So then I'll have 3 versions of the print. This small one, the large one. Have I corrected it? Have I corrected this small one yet? Because I remember this sketch is a little bit different. 11.8. $11.25. It's a little bit different. I have to update the terminal. Yeah. And that will map itself to the other side. I can just change this too. Okay. I should have shifted everything, so we're good here. Alright, terminal breadboard is done. This is also done. This is also done. Okay. See, what did I say? Short stream. This is a short stream. I'm almost half done with what I'm doing. Thank you for the follow, Blue Apple 391. Good to have you here. See, Vellum, short stream. I promised. Oh, I was I completely forgot what I was talking about. I was extremely sleep deprived today. I think I was up until very late last night. Oh, hello! Hello, Blue Apple. Is the, are the emotes working, Bellum? But, I think I'm keeping up my streak of being extremely sleep deprived, and it's also, making it hard to speak at times. Which is cool and all, at some points. Alright. Okay, so 3 are done. Now I have to figure out the macro board one. So the macro board, prints. We went ahead and figured this out yesterday. I personally screwed up, and made the capacitor a little bit too thick so that the keys don't directly fit and they kind of like wobble around. So like they kind of wobble around and they're not flush with the board. I need to redesign this on Altium and reorder it because I think we can correct that. We can also correct it like in post. So like I will just make the height the size of this key, and so when it will just slot in. But I don't think the connection will be too great. That's the only problem. So yeah, fix it in post. And then I can also go ahead and just, redesign this to put the capacitors in the back, which I think I will do eventually. Everything else works though, which I'm really happy about. The potentiometers turn, all of the circuitry looks correct. It's just like this stupid capacitor is making an offset on the key, and the key doesn't like it. So if I want to balance this out on the PCB, I have to be pretty precise about it, about how I put everything in. But yeah, macro board does need a redesign for V3 actually. It needs to have bigger holes for the rotary encoders because they're directly soldered onto the PCB. Oh, if Kandarsa is here, actually, do you guys know how to find rotary encoders with like less resistance on the knobs and have it still be detentless? Because I think these are fine, but the biggest problem with these knobs is that they're so hard to turn. And if you're playing a rhythm game like Sound Voltex, then you want the knobs to turn really well. Try an audio pot. Do you know if audio pots have detents? Because I think a lot of them do. Like the one on my keyboard, I think is an audio pot. Like it's kind of I want kind of like a smooth turn, right? And it's still being a SMD component. Anyway, so while the question is out there, this PCB works, which is great. Now I have to design a case for it. I also have to design a case for this thing, which I'm going to hold a workshop for. Whatever they use in my Korg Nano Control 2 would be perfect. Oh, let me note that down. So, Korg Nano Control 2. I don't know what that is. It is a USB controller. Alright, I gotta reverse engineer what that is. But thank you guys for the advice. Okay, so macro board. Where is the macro board? It's not an admin project, create a separate one for it. So CDXV2. Oh, yeah, okay. The container can remain the same. I think the container is fine. Recovered. I can just save that. Yeah, this sketch can just go away. Alright, so this is the previous version of the case. It works fine. Problem is, these holes for the rotary encoders are obviously too small. And everything has been clipped to the previous design, which the previous design had the Pro Micro in the middle, and this one's going to be a little bit different. So I think I'm going to create a completely new project for this. New folder. So this is macro board V3. It's almost the 1-year anniversary of macro board. The first chunky one, which was for Helen's birthday, was created almost 1 year ago. So the development of these projects is really nice to see, in my opinion. Okay, let me copy some of these files over. Definitely the base I'm going to make a copy of, and I'm going to copy into admin project into macro board v3. Okay, and I'm also going to copy the container. So this time around, the USB is located on the side of the PCB, so that the cable doesn't have to go all the way inside of the box. However, that's still a nice feature to have, to store the cable somewhere, you know? So in theory, the box can be even thinner. If we go ahead and just like ignore the cable, so like assume that you can disconnect the USB cable, although it still will be provided, then this can be a very thin box, right? If you want to put like LEDs on the bottom and stuff, you can even use this little JST on the back to do so. So the goal is make the box thinner, make sure the indents on the back fits the board. So when I am soldering this in, making sure that everything here is able to fit all the indents and whatever is on it, which shouldn't be too difficult. I just need to make sure there's a couple points in which it will separate the indents from the raised parts. Okay, so I made a copy of that. I'm going to make a copy of container as well. Admin project, macroboard v3, copy. Okay. So many files. All right, so the base has been copied, which means I don't need this anymore. Take a look at this and open it. Well, you know, in general, most of it should be the same. The key should be the same. These key placements are actually pretty nice. So the problem is I need to figure out what the height discrepancy is between the keys and the capacitor, because and that's going to have to be pretty exact if I don't want the keys to wobble. I'm going to go ahead and estimate it based on the height of this pot. So the height of the key is about 4 millimeters. Just kidding, 6 millimeters. Okay, so the height of the key is approximately approximately 6 millimeters. So if I make a 6 millimeter gap between the board and the top face, I think that will work. Okay. Let's see here. So the current gap between the board and the top piece are, inspect, 0.2 inches. And that is not in millimeters, so I don't know what that is. We need it to be 0.23, which is what it says on my thing. So I'm going to go ahead and try to extend it to 0.23. Yeah, so it means this indent here. This current extrusion needs to go away because this does not exist anymore. for Microboard V3. This, in general, the holes are still fine, right? No routing here, just slicing. Yeah, unfortunately, no routing today, Polybius. I apologize for that. But we're doing some CADing here to fix this this print up. Okay, I think for this one, the audio pod, it's gonna have to fit like directly into the board. The not the audio pod, sorry, the encoder. The encoder has to fit directly into the board. Now the encoder is approximately 5 inches. I'm gonna give it like 5.25 by 5.25, and it's a square. So I'm gonna put a rectangle, center rectangle, and this is going to be a 0.525 by 0.525. Okay. And then it's gonna repeat on both sides. It's almost the same size as that, actually. So now I'm just going to extrude that entire thing through instead of the circle. So this will allow the entire rotary encoder to be fitted through, and all we need to do then is just go ahead and either 3D print out one of the knobs, or what I want to do instead of that is I actually want to resin print some knobs. I got some Pi Picos the other day. Nice chip. It is indeed a nice chip. I really like it. If only they were here the day you took a whole stream routing a diode. Polybius, yes. I did spend an entire stream routing a single diode because the entirety of the electrical engineering department at Cal Poly Pomona came and raided my stream. So that was fun. Single diode. Who would have thought? Okay, which extrusion was that? It was this one. Okay, so I need to extrude this entire square out as a correction. You know, tomorrow I'm actually going to be CADing something different. What is this? Oh, hold on. I do not need these three now anymore because I do not care. Right, because this eliminates the fact that it's going to be one of those connections. Okay. So that looks correct. I'm going to print it out and test it and just like clip it on and see if it works. Next, I had to create some of the bevels. Alright, inspect. Alright, that's got to be 0.23. So whatever was in before it, I've got to subtract 3 from that extrusion. So it would be this one, I think. No, it would not be this one. It would be this one. So it goes down 0.15 inch. I'm going to go down 0.12 inch. So that gives it more of a leeway room down there. Okay. So in general, that should be it. There are some solder connections that I'd like to eliminate in terms of just giving it some place for the PCB to be propped up. Or like some way of just carving out some area inside and giving it some room. Because especially for like the Arduino, that's gonna need some like room inside of the PCB for it to work. I got some. Oh, I would have liked to see that route. It was a route for Blinky Learner, so it was one of those days. Okay. So it would be this sketch, I believe. No, this sketch, I believe. No, this no. Which sketch was it? It was one of the sketches. It was this sketch. Okay. So these were the sketches in which I put rectangles on there to represent, you know, the places where I have to put some indents in. But I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I don't need these anymore. Out they go. Out the window. Okay, instead, what I need to account for is the fact that when I'm putting this PCB on top of the 3D print, some of the soldered edges are going to press into the board. And that's probably not good. Probably. So if I'm looking at this from the back, and I'm putting this at the front, then the Arduino Pro Micro is going to be on the right, the BL extension is going to be in the middle. And then the rotary encoder parts are going to be below here. There's also the capacitor being an issue. So instead of trying to account for everything, it may be better to just I'm accounting for everything. Oh, hello, Bobby Kebab. Welcome to the stream. I don't know who you are, but apparently you know who I am, so hello there. Let's see. Yeah, so these capacitors will not have an effect onto the actual design because they're actually inside the hole. So all I need to account for is like the left panel of capacitors, the right panel capacitors, this middle pin, and the Arduino Pro Micro. So that shouldn't be too hard. I'm gonna go ahead and put the rectangles to represent that here. Just make sure to center everything. This one is centered, somewhat. So the distance between these 2 points is, oops, I forgot to inspect it. Okay, so inspecting these 2 points gives me 0.552. If I can do some quick math. 0.552 divided by 2 is equal to 0.276. So that's the midpoint between these two lines. And that does not work. What is going on? I have emails. Okay, that does work. So 0.276. Okay. And then the middle distance between this top point and this bottom point is XYZ delta, I'll give you that. 0.85. So 0.85 divided by 2 is 0.425. So I'm going to switch dimension from bottom to top. Actually, I'm going to project this line out so that I can go ahead and put that dimension there. So 0.425. Okay. And then to create this hole for the extension, for the JST, I'm going to measure the depth. It's about 1.75 inches. So 0.175 inches. And then the width is approximately 0.35. Now for the next one. So all the rotary encoder connections may have to be isolated. So in that case, I'll just go ahead and make a rectangle here on the bottom. So in this case, from the side, this would be let's just say 0.9. 0.9 from the edge. I think I'm comfortable with that relatively. And then I'm going to go ahead and create the rectangle. Alright, so this distance from the top here would be 0.4. And then 0.9. So this distance is 0.198. And this distance is 0.177. That's fine. Just need to make sure the circuit is able to have a room there. Okay, now I'm gonna mirror across this line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mirror. Bam. Okay. So that takes care of 3 out of 4 of them. Now finally, I have to do the Arduino Pro Micro ones. Arduino Pro Micro ones is all the way from the left side, so I guess I'm going to just map this point to here. And then it's also going to be on from the bottom, so mapping this point to here. Project. So going to map this here. Okay. And then creating a rectangle from the edge. These are going to be approximately 1.5 inches in height. 0.15. This 10. And then all the way from the edge, we have about 1.3. That looks right. That looks right, I think. The edge here, it's 1.3. Yeah, okay. If it's wrong, I'll know when I print this out. Okay, 1.3 and 0.15. Okay, now I just gotta find out how much to extrude this downwards for. In the previous one, I believe I extruded down for, I don't know, because I deleted it. Let me go find it. So in this space, I gave the solder like 0.10, 0.1, okay, 0.1. So extrude this here, 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 0.1. Alright, that gives room for the PCB connections. And then hopefully the key will be able to slot in perfectly through that. Alright, so that will conclude the connections, at least for the macro board side. I'm also going to need the connections for the bottom, so the case for it, which is going to be the container. So the new container can be slimmer, so it would take less time to actually print these things. You know, just because the wire isn't going to be inside the box anymore, and we just have to account for the height of the Arduino Pro Micro. If you want to put LEDs and stuff on the inside of the box, that's fine too. You know, the JST connectors can account for that. Alright. So this is the container. Currently, the height of this container, accounting for the ohm logo. On the inside, the internal height is 1.05 at the lowest. And there is a raised area, and this raised area is primarily for the ergonomic abilities of a person playing this. And I have received complaints from my friend that this is too high and that people's hands are going to hurt. So the minimum area that I would need, actually the minimum area I would need is almost 0.8 or 0.75. I'll hit for 0.75, which is going to be able to account for the Arduino Pro Micro amongst some other things. So the small side should be reduced to 0.75. Alright, so the few changes I need are that I need to first remove the ohm logo. So this can go away. And I'm also going to remove the extrusion for this wire hole here because I don't need it anymore. Right? So how did I make this? So I still want this degree because I think it's a 5-degree extrusion. All I think I'm gonna do is honestly from 1.05 down to 0.75. That's extruding it downwards by 0.3. Oh, that's a little bit too much. And that looks beautiful. I'm just kidding, that looks absolutely horrible. Okay, it looks a little better, but now the slant looks a little bit too obvious for a macro board, right? Because it's a smaller design. I wonder if it's like because of this, then the slant should be even less than 5 degrees, right? Because the distance, the angle between this area and this area was 5 degrees, and now that I reduced it by 0.3, then I think the angle should be even less. I'm gonna reduce it down to, I think I want it 2.5. That's about half of it. So it's about cutting the angle in half almost. And I think it automatically did it for me. Yeah, so I think cutting it by half gave it a little more natural look if you look at it from like the right angle. Probably not 2.5, I think maybe 3. That looks a little bit too short, in my opinion. Maybe 3. Alright. That looks okay. Alright. And then we have the height. Oh, come on. The height over here. This is 0.75 inches, which should be able to account for the Arduino Pro Micro being there. Now I just need to like re-put the holes here. Just create a sketch. I believe the holes had points. Actually, I should still have to sketch for the holes. Apparently not. The holes are just completely gone. Great. Amazing. Alright. Find my container here. Container V2. Okay, so these holes, where did I make the holes from? .15 from the edge. It should be this sketch, I think. Yes, okay. I just need to project this entire sketch into this plane. That'll save me time. Good. Wait, I thought I projected it. What? I project these 4 points and I don't have to do any CAD. And then the holes themselves, where were their settings? The holes had it was threaded, a simple threaded, tapped, full hole, angled, 0.2, number 6. Okay. Why did I use number 6s? It's so weird. Alright. So create a hole, add point A, point B, point C, point B, point D, make it look like a meteor crashed into my design. have it flat. Okay. ANSI Unified School Screw Threads number 6. And then I'm gonna make it larger. Class 2B is fine. Model it. And what depth is it? 0.2 inches deep. This will be 0.2 inches deep. All right. Looks pretty good. I think we're done. I can add the Ohm logo back if I wanted to. Just make it a little smaller. And then, oh, I do need to add the Arduino Pro Micro USB port. I don't actually know where this is. Theoretically, it should be like somewhere down here. Let me like guess first, and then if I guess wrong, then I'll correct for it. All right, I'm gonna give a gamble that this USB cable is going to be, well, if I have the board like here, then the distance from area for the Arduino cable. Just gonna print slide to 2. Cool. And then I think all that's left is to implement the Ohm logo on the back. Mo's online. All right, we're doing Mo, guys. Yeah. That's just gonna be a feedback loop of me saying words if I open the stream. Okay. I haven't rated Mo in a while, so let's go. One of the first people that I ever rated and followed because of Positron. Okay, that's it for me today. It's great CADing. I think I already did my outro like a few times. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go to sleep after spending some money on Prime Day. So that's all. I wish you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah. Bye for now.